Hello and welcome to your 60-minute yoga practice for the day. My name is Amanda and today we're going to be doing a yoga practice for sinuses. It is going to be a very slow-paced practice. A vinyasa flow. I do encourage you to grab some blocks to help us move through some of our poses today. We're doing quite a bit of support work with our blocks today, as well as moving through quite a few back bends. So lots of great mindfulness coming in with the sinus flow as well. So to get us started, we're going to go ahead and do 5 minutes of either journaling or meditation. Maybe you want to set an intention for your practice, or maybe reflect on the day that you're having since this is a slower practice. Pardon me. And that time begins now. 30 seconds. Your journaling can go ahead and reach the end of your journaling session. Welcome back to your practice. Today we're going to start with 5 cycles of breath. Listen to my voice as I guide you through this. I'm going to have to step off screen here for just 1 moment. I want you to find a nice comfortable seat of your choice, whether that be in easy pose, or on your knees. You're going to begin to inhale. 4, pausing at the top of your breath. 1, 2, and exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. I'm sorry, pause. 1, 2, and then exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Pause and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Continue for 3 more cycles of breath, breathing like you. All the tension in your face and your shoulders melt away. Relaxing between the eyebrows and the mouth, the back of the neck, feeling the shoulders drop away from the ears, finding length in your spine, and grounding down through the earth. Ready? If your eyes are closed, you can go ahead and flutter those open. And we're going to start to make our way to a tabletop position. Check that your knees are in line with your hips and your shoulders are over the wrists. Any kind of free movement that you need. If your body's calling for you to do that, remain still in tabletop. Draw those low ribs in. As you inhale, dropping the belly, sending your gaze forward, opening the throat, and exhale, round through the spine, pushing away from the earth. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round through. And 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. And the last 2, I'd like you to move with the flow of your breath. But if you want to take any kind of free movement in the process, please feel free. I want you to listen to what your body is calling you to do. Excellent. Make your way back to a neutral tabletop position. Wiggle your hips a little bit side to side. Maybe you look over your right shoulder and look over your left. Take some gentle movement here. And when you're ready, you flip those toes over and make your way to your first downward facing dog, sending those hips up and back for your practice. Give yourself a nice generous bend in the knees. Go ahead and walk your dog if you want to, or remain in stillness, whatever your body's calling for you to do today. Breathing like you. just getting warmed up for the day. Just generous bend. You can cross the arms if you want to. Yourself a little side to side, swaying if that's what's calling to you today, or remain in stillness. Ready? We'll inhale for a little half lift here. Finding length in the back of your spine. And then exhale as you fold. Remember to give you a nice generous bend to the knees as you're warming up for your practice. Inhaling, rooting to rise. Send the arms up overhead. This big stretch. As you exhale, I want you to cactus the arms open, opening the throat and the chest. Send your gaze just slightly upward. Your ribs are still tucked in, your abs are still tight. Send the arms up overhead. And then exhale them down, coming into a mountain pose. Ground down through those toes. Roll the shoulders back. When you're ready, we're going to inhale, send the arms up. And exhale, hold it down. Inhale for that half lift. Exhale, fold down. When you're ready, you're going to plant the hands, step back into a plank. As you exhale, you're going to shift forward and lower down through chaturanga. Inhaling yourself, to a baby cobra or full cobra, depending on what your body is calling for you to do today. Flipping the toes and making your way either through tabletop or straight to downward facing dog, but eventually landing in downward facing dog. Taking a cycle of breath here. Stepping towards the top of the mat. Inhaling, finding half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhaling, the arms open into a cactus, opening the throat. Inhaling, sending the arms up. And, excuse me, exhaling, hands to heart center. Standing nice and tall. One more time. Inhale, send the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step it back into plank. As you exhale, shift forward, lower down through chaturanga, finding your version of cobra. As you inhale to flip your dog, coming into a down dog position. Making your way to the top of the mat. You ready? You're going to inhale, finding that half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, cactus those arms open. Inhale, send them up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Pausing for a moment, just to appreciate your body in the practice today. When you're ready, you're going to inhale, send the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stepping back into plank. Exhale as you shift forward and lower down through chaturanga, coming to cobra. Moving your way through downward or to downward facing dog. Listen closely here as you pause. On your next inhale, you're going to send the right leg up, going into a three-legged dog. And we're going to hold here for just a minute. If this is a lot on your base leg here on your left leg. You can lower down to your knee and still have the same extension in that back leg there. If that is a much more gentle position for your body, I encourage you to do that. Your next inhale, I want you to open the hip over to the right, send your toes facing in the right direction. You're opening the hip here. And when you're ready, you're going to point the hip back down to the earth and send that right leg forward, coming through into a low lunge position. And next inhale, you're going to just walk your hands over, coming into a wide leg forward fold in the center. Just let yourself dangle here for a minute, feeling a nice stretch. Back of the calves, relax the back of the neck here. Make your way over to your left foot. You're going to be facing the back of the mat now, that low lunge. Then I want you to step up to the top of your mat, or the back of your mat. Put your feet together. And inhale, root to rise. Exhaling, hands to heart center. When you're ready, you're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step it back into plank. As you exhale, you're going to shift forward, lower down through chaturanga, finding your cobra. Exhaling, and making your way to a downward facing dog. Listen closely here. As you inhale, you're going to inhale the left leg up. Remember, if you need to drop to your knee on your right leg, please feel free to do so. Make any sort of adjustments that you may need. Your next inhale, you're going to open that hip up to the left, pointing your toes to the left side of the mat. Grounding down through those arms, feeling nice and strong here. And you ready? You're going to rotate that hip back down to the earth. Send it forward between the hands. Pausing for just a moment to catch yourself. And then walk yourself over again into that wide-legged forward fold. Walking your way towards the top of your mat, coming into a low lunge with the right foot in the front. You're going to step it together towards the top of your mat here. Inhaling for half lift. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling, root to rise. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Now this next portion, we're going to be doing some standing back bends, and your version of a standing back bend may look much different than mine, and that's okay because we each move very differently. But I want you to keep a very close eye on your abdominal muscles, making sure this is nice and taut. You're really focusing on your core here when you're doing a back bend, because I don't want you to bend from this low part of your sacrum here. It causes a lot of back strain, can cause you a lot of issues. I want you to focus on bending from that thoracic spine, and when you contract your abdominals, that's where the bend happens, is from that middle back there. So when you're ready, make any kind of adjustments that you need to in the process. Pardon me. You're going to inhale, you're going to send the arms up. If you're able, you're going to bring your hands together and form a little steeple here. If this is hard for your shoulders, you're welcome to grab a block and just hold that between your shoulders here at the top. I want you to find what is comfortable for your body. And when you're ready, again, make sure those abdominals are contracted here. You're going to start to send your gaze up and lean back from that middle spine. You may only move a couple inches like I just did. You may not go way, way back here, and that's all right. I want you to go to the point that you start to feel tension and stop. If you start to feel any sort of pressure in this low back area, back off, stand up a little bit more. Even though it doesn't feel like you're only moving a couple of inches when you're going through your yoga pose here, through your back bends, it takes time to build the muscles to be able to do a back bend properly. So we're just easing ourselves into it today, finding lots of grace. Go ahead and on your next exhale, send yourself upright and drop your arms down to your side, coming into a mountain pose. We're going to do that 2 more times. It's a nice slow practice today, being very gentle with your body. And when you're standing here in mountain, if you need to fold over, coming into a forward fold just to kind of counteract any kind of pressure you may feel in your back, please feel free. I want you to move like you. If you need to take any sort of organic movement side to side, go ahead and do that as well. And when you're ready, you're going to inhale, send your arms up overhead. Again, either with that block or bringing the hands together. And then on your next inhale, checking that your abdominals are contracted here, bending from the middle of your back. You're going to send the gaze up and start to open. Think about opening the throat and the chest towards the sky here. Opening up this way may help you ease into the back bend position. Really grounding down through those toes, nice active legs here. Be sure not to let the head fall back. You should still have a nice strong neck. Hopefully you're not staring into the great ball of sun in the sky there. Excellent. On your next exhale, go ahead and stand it up. And again, take any kind of free movement that you need in between. Come down into mountain. You can bend over into a forward fold. You can take something in between, wiggling those hips back and forth. Any kind of free movement that you need, just make sure your body's flowing. Feeling nice here, warming that spine up. All right, on your next inhale, send the arms of the block up towards the sky. When you're ready, draw those low ribs in, contract your abdominals. You're going to send the gaze up, start to open that throat and the chest towards the sky here. Breathing like you, flowing like you for your practice today. That's what I love about yoga, is you can make the practice for you. That's what it's meant for. It's for you. And your practice doesn't have to look like mine, and that's the beauty of it. Give me one more cycle of breath here. At your next exhale, go ahead and stand it up. Get the block, you can go ahead and place it down on the earth. Take a minute, give yourself any kind of free movement that you need. Back bends can be a lot, like I said, even if you're only moving just a couple of inches back there. It's not something that we do on a daily basis, so they are muscles that are not strengthened and stretched on a daily basis, for most of us at least. All right. When you're ready, if you've moved to the center of your mat like I have, start to make your way back towards the top of the mat. You're going to inhale, send the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back your plank. As you exhale, lowering down, coming into either a cobra, or an upward facing dog. Exhale as you flip your dog. Listen closely here. You're going to bring your left foot forward and plant it between your hands, making your way into a wide-legged forward fold here. Inhale, finding half lift. Exhale, folding. And then making the way to the back of your mat, coming into a low lunge with the right leg in front. You're going to send that right leg back, coming into a plank. Pardon me. As you exhale, shift forward, lower down, coming into cobra or upward facing dog. Go ahead and flip your dog over. Same thing here. You're going to send that left foot again up to the front of your mat. And then walk your way into that wide-legged forward fold. When you're ready on that next inhale, I want you to find half lift, whatever that looks like for you, that length in the back of the spine. And then exhale, fold it down. Make your way again to the front of your mat. Right foot's in front. This time you're going to step your legs together at the top of your mat, grounding down through those toes. Inhale, finding half lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, root to rise. Exhale, fold it over. Touch your toes. Go ahead and inhale, pardon me, as you step it back into plank. Exhale, shift forward, lower down through chaturanga, finding that up dog or cobra. Flipping your dog over. This time I want you to bring your right foot forward, plant it between your hands. And then make your way again to the center of your mat in that wide-legged forward fold position. Inhale, finding half lift. Exhale, folding. Making your way to the back of your mat so it's a low lunge with the left foot in front. And then you're going to step it back into plank. On your next exhale, you're going to shift forward. Again, lower down through that chaturanga, coming into an upward facing dog or cobra. Flipping your dog when you're ready. Same thing, bring the right foot forward, plant it between your hands, low lunge. And then shifting into that wide-legged forward fold. When you're ready, you're going to inhale, finding that half lift, whatever that looks like for you. And then exhale, folding. Turning and making your way to the top of your mat here. Pardon me, with your, what is this, your left foot, I'm sorry, in front. And then stepping your feet together in that forward folded position. Maybe you take some shifting, some regrounding of the toes here. And you're ready, you're going to inhale, finding that length in the back of the spine. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, root to rise, sending the arms up overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart center. If you'd like, you're more than welcome to let your hands float down to your side into a mountain pose, or you can stand with your hands at heart center. So you're going to pause for a moment. I want you to reflect upon how your practice is flowing today, how your body's feeling. Hopefully you're nice and toasty and warmed up here. Give me 3 more cycles of breath. All right, when you're ready, you can go ahead and release any sort of poses that your hands have, drifting down to your side here. We're going to go ahead and step the left leg back, sending the arms up overhead at the same time, coming into a crescent lunge position. When you're doing this, make sure that your front knee, stacked over the ankle here, and the hips should be facing the front of the mat. They may require you to draw that right hip crease back, so we tend to open up to the side, draw it back a little bit. And when you draw it back, you may notice, like me, my knee comes behind my ankle here, so I gotta make some adjustments. Move around a little bit. You can be either raised up on that back toe or flat if you've got the flexibility for it. And again, arms overhead. Chest is open, throat's open, gaze is forward. Or up, if you want to look up. One more cycle of breath here. And when you're ready, you're going to transition into a warrior one position. When you do that, all you're doing is taking this back leg, rotating your foot, feel different in everyone because each of our hips are different, right? Even our right to our left. So find what feels good here. Ground down through that back leg, drawing the energy up. Again, you should still be facing the front of the mat. The knee should still be stacked over the ankle. Belly should still be nice and tight here. Drawn in. Pull that right hip crease back. Arms are still overhead. Focusing, focusing, focusing. You're doing a wonderful job. All right, when you're ready, we're going to open up into a wide-legged a wide-legged stance here to the side. You're going to send the arms out wide. You're making a nice big star here. Stretching, grounding down through the feet, stretching out as far as you can. Nice deep breaths. You're wonderful. This feels great, right? It's going to be wonderful. All right, go ahead and float the arms down. Just relax here for a moment. I know we had the arms overhead for quite a while. You can take any kind of free movements. If you want to spin a little bit side to side, please feel free to do so. Just relax those arms. All right, when you're ready, I'm going to send them back up overhead. This time straight overhead. And you're going to rotate towards the back of your mat here, coming to a crescent lunge position, facing the back of your mat. Again, when you do this, pardon me, make sure you're checking your alignment. If it takes you a second to get into position, that's fine. I just want you to flow safely so we're not injuring ourselves. We're feeling good. We're drawing the energy that our body needs from our practice. Lifting that chest and the gaze up towards the sky slightly. Two more cycles of breath here. When you're ready, you're going to transition into Warrior One. All you're doing is rotating that back foot and planting it. And again, that may feel different, it may look different from your other side of your body or even from the angle that I have my back foot at. That's okay. I want you to find what feels good in your own hip joint. Making any kind of adjustments that you need. I know those arms are getting tired, so go ahead and transition back to the side of your mat, come into that star pose. Reaching, 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 and relax. Still staying in the wide-legged pose where you can drop your arms down to your side. You can either stand there, you can wiggle yourself around. You can take any kind of free movement today. Nice gentle practice for you. All right, when you're ready, we're going to make our way to our bottoms, to our seat. Down here on the mat, you can get to your bottom, so sitting down, however calls to you today. But once you're there, or when you get there rather, I'm going to have you come into a staff pose position. If you don't want to put your feet together, you don't have to. If you want to leave them, hip width distance apart, I want you to find what feels comfortable in your practice today. Sitting up nice and tall. Now, if this is a lot of strain on your low back, which it can be for some people, so I invite you to grab that block, put it under your bottom. Give yourself some lift. That lift takes a lot of that tension out of the low back here, and it can allow you to flow better in your practice, okay? So if, again, sitting flat on the floor doesn't work for you, sit on something. Sit on a pillow, sit on a block, something to give you a little extra space there, a little extra height. When you're ready, you're going to inhale, send the arms up, and you're going to exhale, just round through that spine and fold over. Now, if you want to place your hands on your toes or your ankles, that's fine, but don't grab and pull. I just want you to rest them there. If you want to be prevented from doing that, rest your arms down here at your sides. Just going to rest here for just a minute. And again, don't pull down. When you're ready, you're going to inhale, sit up nice and tall. Now this time when you exhale to fold forward, I want you to keep that flat back as much as you possibly can. And I want you to lean forward. If it helps, grab a block, sit it between your knees. And I want you to try to peer over the block, like you're looking down into something. You're finding a little extra length in the back of the hamstrings here. And you're leaning forward, peering over. And then exhale, go ahead and fold it down, round it down. Relaxing here, letting the head hang heavy. Looking side to side, if that's what's calling for you today. Wonderful job. Go ahead and sit up. You're going to come into a wide-legged seated position. So just take those heels off to either side of your yoga mat here. And your legs don't have to be super wide. Sometimes your body feels different from day to day, so just go to the widest point that you feel comfortable. If it feels like too much, draw them back in a little bit, and that's fine. Whenever you're ready, you're just going to fold over. If you'd like, you can grab some blocks just to rest that forehead on. And again, your hands can be out in front of you or on your legs. Just don't pull yourself down. I want you to naturally just fall over. When you're ready, you can go ahead and sit up. Same thing, grab a block or visualize that there's something here that you're peering over as you exhale to lean forward. You're peering over it, trying to maintain that straight line in your back. Leaning forward. You're gazing into the pool in front of you. Go ahead and round through the spine, letting that head hang heavy. When you're ready, you can sit up. If you have any blocks, you can go ahead and remove those. Just sit those off to the sides of your mat here. You will need them here in a few minutes. And we're going to go ahead and make our way down to our backs. You can get there however your body is feeling. You want to move today. Once you're here, you can bring those knees into the chest. Give any kind of gentle massage movement that you'd like to your low back. Very gentle movement in our practice. When you're ready, you're going to drop those feet down to the floor. Now, we're going to be moving into a bridge pose here. When you're doing this, if your feet are way out here in front of you, that may be more difficult. So sometimes folks find it easier to kind of bring them a little closer to the bottom. Likewise, if your feet are really narrow, that may make it more challenging than if your feet are as wide as the yoga mat, for instance. But I want you to play around with your feet and where they're at to find what feels comfortable, for you. Now you're gonna go ahead, I want you to take that right shoulder blade and tuck it down to the mat, and then the left. So your arms are kind of be rotated outwards here. See how my arms naturally fell open to the sides because my shoulder blades are tucked underneath me. And what we're doing, hands are gonna be down at your sides here. When you're ready, you're gonna contract that low belly in here, those low abdominals, and you're gonna start to roll up, lifting the hips up, spine by spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, spine by spine, because you have multiple spines, right? So once your hips are up here in the sky, you can take and intertwine, walk those shoulder blades down and intertwine those hands down behind your back. If this is too much strain and stress, grab that block. You can just place that underneath your bottom here. Give yourself some support. If you need it, give it a nice spacer between your hands. I want you to focus on keeping the space here, like you've got like a fist between your chin and your chest. You want to create that space here, but you're lifting with the hips. And again, if that block needs to be there for support, please feel free to do that. Go ahead and lower back down to the earth. Nice and slow and controlled. And just let the knees fall together. Relax here for just a moment. We're going to do that 2 more times. All right, when you're ready, go ahead and reestablish your stance with your feet. Raise those hips up. Roll those shoulder blades under, opening the hips up towards the sky, the chest and the throat. And again, if you need that block to be placed underneath for any reason, please feel free to use that. And if you're placing the block underneath and you're like resting your low back, your sacrum on that, but you're still trying to activate the legs as much as possible, you just need some support there, that's fine. This is totally fine. This is what props are for, because this is allowing you to flow like you. This is what your body needs in this moment until you've built up, pardon me, strength to be able to do it without a prop. If you want to play around with it, you can walk your feet together. You can feel how that changes the muscle dynamic of what you got going on, or you can walk them as wide as your mat. See how that changes, what that feels like in your body. Play around with your feet if you'd like. And then go ahead and lower back down to the earth. Again, letting those knees fall together. When you're ready, reestablish those feet and raise yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae. Walking those shoulders under, opening the chest, the throat, sending the hips up towards the sky. Nice and active here. And again, if you can interlace those hands and pull them together underneath your bottom, that's great, but that's more of a, what do you want to call that? Kind of an advanced bind. So if your body says, no, we're not doing that today, then don't do it. It's fine. Again, maintain a tightness in your abdominals here. And then lower yourself down to the earth. Go ahead and bring the knees into the chest. Rounding down that spine there. If you want to take happy baby here, please feel free. You can rock a little bit side to side if you'd like, or send the knees in a circle. Finding whatever movement feels good for you. We're going to move into a supported shoulder stand today. This is where your blocks will really come in handy when you're doing a shoulder stand. So to ease yourself into this position, you're going to send the legs up to the sky. Now, if this is a lot of strain on you, which it may be, then you can remain here. But if you'd like to challenge yourself a little further, you can take that block, drop your legs down to the earth, take the block, place it under your sacrum here. Make sure that the widest part of the block is down on the earth to give yourself a good base. And when you're ready, again, send those feet up towards the sky. You're starting to see the height and the lift here. Now, when you're doing this, I still want you to ground those shoulders down to the earth. Have your hands down here at your sides, and your legs are active, your feet are active, right? Because if you were actually doing a shoulder stand with zero support here, this is what you would want. And if you want to challenge yourself further and you have the space, you can stack two of these blocks on each other, tuck them underneath here, and again, send the feet up towards the sky. Nice active legs. And if you want to play around with it, which you're more than welcome to, you can kind of contract those abdominals and you can feel yourself start to lift up from the earth. But when you're doing this, I still want you to maintain that nice open throat and open chest here, because I don't want you to end up crunching down on the back of your neck. And if you're still down here on the ground, you don't want to do any of the lifting on the blocks here. If you're still here, you can still practice like you're going up into that shoulder stand, right? Nice and gentle and controlled. All right, go ahead and lower your legs down to the earth. Let the knees fall together. We're gonna do that one more time. All right, when you're ready, you can use whatever variation of support that you want. Maybe you want one block, maybe you want two. Maybe you want to work on just using your abdominals to lift yourself off the ground here. Even if it's only a couple inches, you're building that strength and finding that support that your body needs, right? Find your variation of what your supported shoulder stand looks like. When you're ready, lower those legs back down to the earth. Draw the knees into the chest. Nice gentle rocking, back and forth, side to side. And when you're ready, you're gonna roll yourself up to a seated position. We're gonna be coming into a supported fish pose. Pardon me. For that, you're gonna send the legs out long in front of you. And then you're going to take your blocks, pardon me, place it back here at your sacrum on its widest setting. And you may find as you start to recline back that you need it up higher. Just remember it's not as stable when it's on this thin side. That's why I recommend using it on the thicker side here. And then you're going to place one up on a higher setting behind. So ideally this should support your back. This is going to support your shoulders and your neck. And again, as you're lowering down, you may need to make some adjustments. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall. When you're ready, you're going to start to roll down the spine. Keep the abdominals tight as you roll down, finding that support where your blocks meet. Finding supported fish. And arms can remain, pardon me, just right here at your sides. Again, if you'd like, you can make an adjustment here, like I have mine on the highest setting. But if the option's available to you, you can come down one more and move that a little closer. As long as you're not crunching in the back of the neck here, you're still opening that throat, you're still finding and feeling that support from your blocks. There's no strain on your neck or your back. If you like, you can let the feet fall open side to side, just relaxing into this position, or you can leave them active, whatever your body's feeling today. Releasing any sort of tension. We're going to stay here for 5 more cycles of breath. you're ready, I do want you to pull the legs together. If you've let them fall open, get nice active legs here. Really contract your abdominals. Use your elbows. Slowly start to roll yourself up, protecting that neck and the low back as you sit up. If you need to bring the knees in a little bit, kind of walk your hands up, that's fine. I want you to very gently move out of supported fish. If sitting up and using your abdominals in that manner is not an option to you, feel free to roll over to your side and sit up that way. You can go ahead and move your blocks off to the side. We're going to just windshield wiper, the legs, side to side here. When you're ready, you can go ahead and walk yourself all the way down to your back. And again, continue with that windshield wipering of the legs. If you'd like, you can just let them fall over to one side and stay there. Maybe you take a T with your arms, sending the gaze in the opposite direction. You can remain here if that's what feels good, or you can swap directions. Send the knees over to the opposite side, your gaze to the opposite side. You can keep moving. If that free-flowing movement feels better, certainly feel free to do so. When you're ready, you're going to make your way into what your version of Shavasana looks like. Typically, most folks send their legs out long, let them flop off to the side. Your arms can be either at your side. You can take a mudra with your hands on the heart and the belly. Any of those options, finding what feels good in your body is where you're going to land at for Shavasana today. And trust that I will guide you out in just a few minutes. Go ahead and bring awareness back to the body. And flutter your eyes open if they were closed. Start to wiggle the toes and the fingers, rolling the ankles and the wrists, moving the arms and the legs. And when you're ready, you can bring those hands together up to the third eye. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you for allowing the energy to flow through your body. And I look forward to seeing you